Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey. First off, can we talk about how beautiful Emmy looks today? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Travis, and I am David's best man. I'd like to thank everybody so much for coming. Family, friends, loved ones, Sheraton staff. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I'd also like to thank Emmy's parents, as well as Dave's folks for helping make such a wonderful day for everybody, for all of us to come and celebrate this wonderful union. I'm going to bust down my note cards really quick before I mess up.
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank Dave and Emmy for inviting my parents and my younger brother here today, which I think is their way of ensuring that at least somebody will laugh at my joke. Dave and I met about 10 years ago while we were both in college in Emerson in Boston. And over the years, Dave and I haven't just been great friends, we've been longtime roommates, we've been writing partners, we've been each other's family on certain holidays. We've also been mistaken for brothers on occasion, which is completely understandable. We're both taller, we both have brown hair, and we're both incredibly good looking. So there's that easy mistake. He's the groom tonight, though. But in all seriousness, I'm so honored to be here tonight, especially in the presence of so many of Dave's wonderful friends. It's really quite an honor and a pleasure to be up here today. When Dave first asked me to be his best man, the first thing I thought of was, oh God, I have to make a speech, I gotta write a toast. So I did the first thing that anybody would do when you don't know how to do something. I Googled it. So I spent a whole bunch of time online. I looked at countless videos. I looked at all these tips and all sorts of stuff, and I found a lot of great videos. The only problem with me is that none of the videos were about a couple named Dave or Emmy. So I kind of had to go back to the drawing board a little bit, but I kept talking to people and asking the different people that have given toast before, what the best thing to do was, and everybody kept saying the same thing. All you have to do is make just tell a great story, and you should be fine. So I thought, great. All I have to do is come up with a story that is endearing, heartfelt, and funny, but not inappropriate, that illustrates my long-term friendship with Dave, while at the same time illuminating something profound and articulate about Dave's character. Which sounds simple enough, right? So I thought a lot about it, I thought, and then finally it hit me. It's way too hard, I can't do it, there's no way, it's gonna happen, it's not happening. So instead, I'm gonna go a slightly different route, a slightly selfish route, and I'll tell you a brief story about myself. So, just bear with me a second. When I was a kid, my family moved around a lot. We moved from California to Maine to Wisconsin, and I was in and out of a whole bunch of different schools, and as a result, I never had a whole lot of friends growing up, and I didn't make friends very well. And it used to drive me crazy because all the kids that I went to school with were, had known each other since they were in grade school, and they had all these great stories and these impeccable bonds and all these wonderful things. And it used to drive me nuts, and that pretty much continued all through high school until I got to college and I met Dave. Now, Dave and I lived on the same floor my freshman year, his sophomore year, along with Dave and Mark and Will and Phil, who are also here tonight. And right from the very first days of school, these guys did such a wonderful job to make me feel welcome and to make me feel included. And I didn't feel like the new kid anymore. I felt, whether it was just going to the dining hall or going to class or whatever it was, I felt like I was starting to build these bonds and have these friendships that, I wanted my whole life. And so here I am 10 years later, and none of that has really changed. And I owe that in such large part to Dave and the man that he is and the friend that he is. Dave is one of the most loyal and generous and hilarious and thoughtful and unbelievably genuine people that I've ever met in my whole life. He's the type of person that has the capacity to make you better just by being around him.